Hello and welcome back to the podcast. So today is a very special day. It is our 100th episode. I've got James sitting opposite me, laughing at me because he said to me basically at the beginning of this, you don't have to speak loudly. I don't think I speak loudly all the time, but apparently I do. So, James, say hello.
Foghorn, Nick.
For anyone who started listening to this podcast in the last 20 episodes, you won't know who James is. For anyone older than that, like some of my fellow listeners, it's not a fellow listener, but someone who's been with me since the beginning, a lot of you will know who James is. James, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm James. I'm Nick's business partner, and we run Let's Run Social together, don't we, Nick?
Yeah, Let's Run Marketing.
Let's Run Marketing now. That's changed, hasn't it? Yeah.
So we thought for the 100th episode, I know you probably put this on thinking, I really want to know what phase 3 of the testing process is. That's going to be recorded tomorrow, and that will be released just after this one. But for the 100th episode, and for all of you who are sitting there, I know, in the cars thinking, hold on a minute, the last episode you did was like 104. We've had to rewind a bit because we needed to get together. So we're doing this one now. So no more criticism that I know you're all thinking.
We were busy, weren't we?
Exactly. So 100th episode, we thought we would recap pretty much 2 years. It's 2 years.
No. The date, Nick, was October the 11th, 2020.
Wow.
It's 2.5 years, Michael.
Wow.
You weren't even here then.
Do you know what disappoints me?
Go on.
It's the fact that seems like a really long time, but 100 doesn't. 100 episodes doesn't sound like a lot.
Consistency isn't there, Nick?
No, it isn't. Yeah, you're right.
That's what that says. Yeah. Because you'd be well over. You're on 104 at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah.
So should we discuss where the idea of a podcast come from?
Yeah, let's start from the beginning. But I want to give value on this as well, because I know my listeners like listening to this and get a bit of value out of it.
This. But who's this guy?
So we do need to give them some value. We need to get them some value out of it. So you are going to get value, guys, because we're going to talk about some of the things that are pretty hot on the agenda, actually, from a serious agency point of view.
Yeah, we could do.
But let's talk. Go on then.
So where did it start?
Yeah.
So we set up Let's Run Social, didn't we? Let's Run Social when about 2019, and you came to me with the idea of a podcast, which at the time I thought was a load of shit. I thought it was a vanity project, and I pretty much said, as long as it doesn't take a lot of time or money, fine, but we'll do it. And you and Matt, who was Matt Reber at the time, who was in your media buyer team, you guys sat in his kitchen. No, his living room?
No, his kitchen, and recorded it.
Yeah, and we recorded it there, didn't we? Or I say you guys did. And that was, back in October 2020. And for the first, 6 months?
No one listened.
Fucking no one listened. There was like 10 listens.
Yeah.
But you did say, we'll keep going and we'll get,
it's the same with anything though, isn't it? It's consistency.
Yeah. So it kept going. I got involved a little bit now and again. But to be fair, it did increase massively, didn't it? I think it was 6 months now. I can't remember what episode it was. I should have done some digging on this prior to this episode. But it did genuinely just increase, didn't it, month on month?
And it still is, month on month.
And what's nice is that it's not just here in the UK. We have listeners all around the world.
Yeah.
So the podcast was going, Nick and Matt were doing it, and it was doing a little bit more. And then on the back of that, we were getting a lot of people emailing us, weren't they, saying, can you help us with our ads? Which obviously was a natural progression. The problem was a lot of the listeners, and probably a lot of you listening here today, you're not ready for an agency. You just probably haven't got the revenue. You haven't got it's not ready yet. So we sat down, didn't we? And I had a brainwave. It was when I was on a call with that girl from America. Yeah. I called you down like midnight going, I've got an idea, which was a consultancy called the Ads Clinic, where you could, as a listener, have a half an hour sort of pre-call with Nick, which is looking at your ads, can we help you? And if you wanted Nick's help or one of the team's help, you could then book consultancy calls, which is every hour, twice a month, 4 times a month, for a certain amount of time. And it just continued going, didn't it? So off the back of it, we actually monetized the podcast.
Yeah.
And now we've actually got agency clients which have gone from listening to the podcast for free, coming onto the Ads Clinic, and now actually using us as an agency
which
Incredible.
is mad. And the mad thing is, actually, when you're talking about all around the world, someone asked me the other day, I only take on I don't take on any more than 10, I don't think, or no, it's actually 6, I think. But we've got about that now, and with how busy we are as an agency, it's called a kind of capacity. Got one space waiting for a lady in Dubai next week who's going to sign up. So we're kind of at capacity. Doesn't mean you don't give me a call or whatever, but we only have one UK client in the ads clinic.
Is that the homeowner stuff?
No, he does conservatories, roofs
That's
for
the one I mean.
conservatories.
That's the guy I mean. Yeah. Sorry.
Everyone else is from around the world. Dubai,
Wow.
Australia,
Israel,
America. 2 in America. Mad, isn't
It's
it?
cool,
Really
isn't it?
cool. Yeah. So
that's where it started, didn't it?
because and it's getting busier because I think a lot of people with with what the world's going through and the economies in all these different countries, people are looking for little side hustles, or they're thinking, okay, I've always thought about taking my business online, or I've dabbled in it and I am dabbling. And that's what I seem to see, a little bit of dabbling. And it's like, right, I need to take it a bit more seriously now.
So that's
But
what you're
where
seeing.
do we
A lot
start?
of people that are like, they've maybe tried it a little bit,
Yeah.
or they want to. So they've done a bit of testing and they've
Yeah.
set up an ads manager.
But now they need to make it work. Times are hard, aren't they? Times are getting harder for everyone.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing
Okay.
in it, definitely. Moving on to you not being on the podcast, but obviously you're in the business. What do you see as the biggest changes that you've seen in the last 2 years? Obviously, iOS. We're not going to. That bores everyone to death, but seems
Yeah, but
like
it was massive, wasn't it?
yeah,
You know, pre-iOS. For those that most people know what that is, but Apple gave their users the option to opt out of being tracked on their devices, which made total sense. But for us as marketers, we can't now track as effectively as we used to be able to. So it's a real issue. Yeah, that was a big one, I think, for everyone. You know, whether you're doing it yourselves or
it still is one because I sent you that example on
Triple
Triple Whale. So for anyone who's listening to this, Triple Whale is a system where you can put as long as you're putting a UTM, where you obviously sync up to something like Triple Whale. A lot of e-com businesses use it. I'm sure you can probably use it for lead gen, but as long as you're basically putting a UTM on your ad, which is the bottom of your ad page, it will track which ads are working better. So especially if you've got multiple ads going on, what I've come to realize is, you really have to take Facebook with a pinch of salt. So yes, it will still drive your conversions, of course it will. But if you've got multiple ads, multiple ad sets, campaigns, etc., a lot of the time it will be misinformation that you're getting. And that example I showed you the other night was, in the daytime, Facebook had said there was 1 order, and Triple Whale, based on the UTM coming from that ad, said there was 5 orders. So it was actually making 3 times its return. And if you were going by Facebook, you'd have to turn it off.
But that's actually brought us on to the other changes in that time is that back in the day, especially for lead generation clients, it'd always be about send to a landing page, get a really good call to action, long form landing page, all that stuff. Whereas now, because of the tracking issues, actually it's changed how we run ads and actually where we're sending people, which is, as we know, keeping people on the platform is right now,
Keep them on there.
Yeah, we've got to keep them on there.
Harder with e-com, easy with leads. Easier with leads.
Now there is an argument to say, well, what about social shopping? That's still not where it needs to be, in my opinion.
No.
But no, I think that's another issue, not an issue, a change, which is those people that are using Meta for lead gen, you've got to keep them on platform and using apps, in-form apps, like you've got to.
Yeah, and if you're not because you can't, because there are a lot of big players out there, especially big coaches in the States and stuff like that, they're still going through the whole landing page system. If you're going to do that, you have to have the right tech, Triple Whale, things like that in the background. So a lot of peers I speak to in the States, they they'll still go through the system. But you're talking about, they're paying $500 a lead, and they need it to be really accurate, and they need to take someone through a journey. But if you're do you see what I mean? So it's fine if you're going straight for someone. Hey, do this for your new roof or whatever. Sign up here. We'll give you a call. Someone will give you a call in the next 10 minutes. But if you take someone down a coaching journey where it's like, it can take 3 months to get someone to sign off.
But they understand it more, don't they?
Thing.
Without sounding harsh, they get it.
Yeah.
Like if you a mum and papa outfit, and there's nothing wrong with being a mum and papa outfit, but when money's tight, these guys get it. They know what the sales funnel is. They can't track.
Yeah, absolutely.
They know that.
There aren't that many of those. It's the 1%.
No,
most people that are on the Ads Clinic listen to this podcast are, smaller companies wanting to figure out how to get their ads working, get it right.
So no, I think so. Obviously the iOS, but obviously the iOS then update has paved the way for these social platforms, especially Meta. You've got to keep people on most platforms to track correctly. So again, like all our lead generation clients, the ones where we're using in-app forms, we know what's working and what's not.
Yeah.
Whereas again, sending people to certain websites or landing pages, there is that caveat of we think we know still now, which is frustrating. But even that's a pain. So I think that's paved the way for that. I think the biggest change, really, Nick, if you think of where we've come in 2.5 years, is TikTok.
Yeah.
Fuck me, that's changed.
Yeah.
It's changed the game for everyone. Like I know Reels and that were still around. Well,
no, they weren't though, were they? Reels got developed because of TikTok. I mean, this is like, do you know what? When you're just like so busy, you forget time.
Michael, can you Google when Reels started? Because I'm intrigued now. I think they were there. I might be telling you wrong. Time goes so, but that's changed the game in terms of content.
Absolutely.
Short form content has in that last 2 years. Because remember, back in the day, we'd used to put a video ad up, which could be like 10 minutes sometimes, couldn't we? Half an hour. That's like, when have we last done that?
Yeah.
But we can't do it.
The crazy thing is, what will be the next thing? When will the videos on TikTok? When will the videos on TikTok last longer?
Well, then Michael knows now.
August 2020.
They were around.
Reels were around.
Yeah, I thought they were. There wasn't line it, so I'm not giving you too much.
TikTok was 2017, launched internationally.
Yeah, look, but yeah, so the Reels were there, but but again, it's still the same, isn't it? They've had to bring those in because of people wanting to consume short form content.
Yeah. But Meta need to do a lot of work on Reels to make them. I mean, as a consumer, where where do you sit? I sit in TikTok now as a consumer. Rarer that I go into Instagram.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm on TikTok a lot. Well, because I send you funny videos.
Yeah, but that's where I am. I think it's absolutely genius. I think from an advertiser of people listening to this, a lot harder to make your ads work on TikTok. Some people can say, I find it really easy. I find Meta hard. From the clients that we've got on Meta, that we also put onto TikTok, some are easier. But like if I talk about one of our big spenders, he spends a lot of money on selling a bike product. We didn't spend loads, but we turned his TikTok off this morning. He spent really simple small numbers, 154 quid, but got 28 clicks. Whereas if on Meta, he would have had orders from that.
But we mentioned that to say that, and when we're on TikTok, I've clicked on a few ads, but rarely have I clicked on one. Have you?
I bought that high smile. I don't. I use TikTok like it's the most perfect TV.
Yeah.
I don't.
Do you click on anything, Michael?
Ads?
Yeah, on TikTok. Or anything. Have you? Rarely though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't tick on. If I'm watching YouTube, I don't click on the ad before waiting for a video.
No, I know it, but I watch on my TV. You see, so that's a conundrum now. There's nowhere. It's not like they can take me anywhere, is it?
Yeah. So I think what Meta's still got and why it's still powerful is it's still great as an advertising platform.
Well, it's
people think of Instagram. They know they're going to get served an advert, and they know it's going to be. They're happy to buy from it.
It's an acquisition tool still. People still believe that. Some people don't believe it's still that, but it is. It is an acquisition tool. That short form content has definitely changed the game. Creative fatigue as well. you've got to be creating a lot more content.
It's made it harder for advertisers. I know there's plenty out there who go, we even have our talks with our marketing push seminars where, God, it sounds like we do everything, doesn't it? But it's like where we had, that speaker the other day from TikTok. He's, it's simple. You just pick up your phone and talk to us. It's never been easier. And it's like, I get it. I get the logic and the theory behind just picking up your phone and speaking into it. But when you're talking about a campaign, it's more accessible.
100%.
But if you're going to do a campaign on a bike seat, suddenly it's like, when we were discussing it, it's like, right, we're going to get a bike. We're going to get the seat cover onto a bike. We've then got to get it filmed. We've then got to edit it in the right way and get it ready for.
Back in the day, you just do a freaking seat cover and just use some rubbish like Canva. It was easy. It's hard.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's harder now.
But it's good. I'm saying that's a good thing, though. I think it's good because it means you've got to actually think about it. It's been too easy to be.
Which is what TikTok wants. That's why it doesn't allow you to edit out of TikTok. You still have to edit inside TikTok.
Well, it's a creator's dream, isn't it, TikTok?
Yeah.
When you look at it, like some of the stuff we've done, and some of the stuff I've done over the weekend for Naveen, just testing stuff out of that CapCut.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It takes you 2 seconds to do stuff. It's really good. It's absolutely brilliant. So, but that then brings us on to those hooks. So,
yeah.
Obviously, we used to work off 3 seconds, yeah? I think we're down to a second now.
Yeah.
You think about when you're flicking through TikTok.
I know really quickly what I want to watch.
It's less than a second. I think a second is you've got to be on it.
Have you seen the thing where you can see your watch history?
It's brilliant, isn't it? The analytics is good. Actually, it's really.
You can put in a full stop into the search bar and it will show you all the TikToks, even if you scroll really quick past them, and half of them you don't even remember even seeing.
It's mad, isn't it? It's crazy. So that's changed the game, hasn't it?
Yeah.
When you Meta, whatever. So that's back in the day, what would be like I said, 3 seconds, wasn't it? That was a 3 second rule.
1 second rule now.
It's hard though, isn't it? 1 second.
Yeah.
So that's I think that's definitely changed it. What about buying behaviours?
What age?
I think buying behaviours have changed in that time.
In what way do you think?
I think we're so less reliant on the high street.
Oh yeah, massively. No one can be bothered anymore. People do a lot online, and the thing is, what I talk to a lot of my clients about is, and I suppose I'm quite ruthless when it comes down to speaking to someone. I know they don't want to hear it, and I kind of apologise first, but is the fact that a lot of people's websites still look like they were made more than 10 years ago. And I think there's a lot of naivety in the fact that you can just have anything, stick it online, and it should sell.
But it used to be able to do that. So that was always a good point I was getting at, which is back in the day, you could create a Shopify site and sell some stuff because it was new, wasn't it? It was a new little thing. Whereas now, it's like going into a store. If you go into a rubbish store or a naff coffee shop, you're not going to buy a coffee from there, are you? And it's the same with a store now. I think that's where it's come on leaps and bounds because people are more aware that they know what's good and bad.
Yeah.
Even 5 years ago, 2 years ago, look at what was happening in the old during COVID. You could sell any old shit, couldn't you?
Yeah.
The amount of the return we get for our clients, in there because people had disposable income, you could get away with it. Whereas now, you can't. Even Amazon sellers, I don't know about you, but when I go on Amazon, I still do a bit of research or I look at the reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
Back in the day, no one did that, did you? You
No.
go, oh, it's cheap, boom. Does it? Just for me,
Well, one of my to-be clients, who was mentioned earlier, who's based in Dubai, I told it to her like it was. It's not her. She works for a client, but she's getting some great, good conversion traffic going to the website, and they're all just bouncing or just not doing it. It's just, you look into it and you start reverse engineering that funnel on a website. And I said, the UX of it is just, which is the usability, is just awful. We as a consumer know how a website should work. We know how a checkout should work. We know how an add to cart should work. And it was the little things like, if someone got to her add to cart and they click add to cart, it adds to cart, but there's nothing coming out the side of the page to say, now do you want to go to your cart? There's nothing taking you to a cart. And it's like, she was like, yeah, but you just click to the top right. I shouldn't have to think. As minute we have to, when you're talking about the getting someone's attention in less than 2 seconds, it's exactly the same when we're buying our products. If we have to wait for a page to load, if we have to wait to figure out where the checkout is, to how to get to an add to cart, even, when you go onto a website and you're buying something and it comes up with, oh, now I need to just enter it. Putting your address in is like the most annoying thing in the world. I want it. Amazon, they already know where I live.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, though? It's true, though, isn't it?
But I was going to buy it over the weekend. And again, this is why socialising, right? So I was watching a YouTube channel about campfires. Got a campfire, and it was for the campfire I've got. This guy using a machine he makes,
Photo, plastic photo, 3D printing.
3D printer, thank you. Create these little bits so you can put a screen up where the seats are when you turn them around. Amazing, Nick.
And he's used a 3D printer to do that.
He's actually created a bit of a geek. I think he's in Birmingham actually. So he said, "Oh,
you might know him, Michael."
I'm not. I'm not selling them, but I sell them. You can get them from here. And went on the site, put the 2 brackets and the pull down thing. It's only like 25 quid. I didn't buy it because I didn't know where the checkout was basket. It was the user experience, and this was on my Mac as well, so it wasn't even on my mobile. I didn't even buy it. And that was 20.
So he's lost out on a £25 sale.
Yeah.
Because he
couldn't be arsed now.
He's basically gone. His interest is making the 3D prints.
The worst thing, but he'd actually given them to an actual site, which is known in the campervan world to get your stuff. So that's their actual business.
Oh, you were buying it from the campervan site, not from him.
Not from this guy's.
Oh my God.
No.
But have you called them up to see if we can do anything?
Annoyingly, they emailed me going, "It's an abandoned cart." Email.
Yeah.
Because I sort of halfway got through, I just don't know. The address wasn't. What was it? Something I was just like, oh, fuck this, I don't know. It was actually, you know what it was? They didn't take Apple Pay, and because I don't have any of my cards ever, I didn't proceed with the order.
Yeah. So you have to come across a site which Shopify is automatic.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be built on something like Shopify?
It hasn't got fucking Apple Pay. It's annoying when I go somewhere and I'm out. I had to call Jess the other day because Ringo wasn't working. I don't have my card to me.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I was like, can you just sort your car out because my Ringo app's fucking not working? We're so reliant on it.
Yeah.
So I think buying behaviours has changed in terms of you've got to have more of a brand online.
Yeah.
So back in the day where you used to, not that we used to do it, when you used to send ads to Pakistan or India.
I was only talking about that this morning with someone actually.
To get loads of likes because it's cheap over there to get likes.
About to do it for someone.
And they are legitimately people. It's not like bots, but you are.
They're just cheaper to get.
They're just cheaper, yeah. We used to do that, and that was the only brand awareness you needed, didn't it? I'd click on the page and see how many followers I've got.
Yeah.
Whereas now, you've got to have good content. You can't have a static page. You've got to actually have a brand.
Yeah.
So rather than going into a shop where there's no one behind the desk, you've got to have someone behind the desk. You've got a good front of window addressing. You've got to have a full functioning shop.
Yeah.
As you would on the high street, but now online.
Yeah.
Not like back in the day. It was, I like that widget. And it doesn't really care because it'll get it or it doesn't. It's a different world now.
Oh, absolutely. Well, talking about the social proof, that was someone I sort of spoke to this morning who want to get it's to winning cars, one of those win a car site tickets and all that sort of stuff. But they said, their biggest thing is we have to have social proof on our Facebook page because even though they're youngsters, I said to him, he's only a young lad, I said, you guys must be the only reason that Facebook actually keeps young people on the platform from these car competitions, because he said, you follow the page, this is like dream cars or whatever, you follow the page and you'll only go to the website to enter the competition once you've seen the prize that you want on Facebook. And he'll obviously go onto lots of different websites and things like that, but he'll check out the Facebook page, and if it doesn't have many likes or followers, they won't use it as a competition page, as a place to put their money in for competitions. So it's still really, really important. But yeah, I have to remember that. But I said to him, we could, if it still works, Because about now, if you want to win a page like, buy a page like from doing an engagement campaign, it's about £1.50 for a page like. So it'd be interesting to see how much it is in Thailand and Pakistan and stuff like that, where it is cheap. And the reason it's cheap is because it's just cheaper to serve ads over there than it is in the Western world. That's all. I would say, going on to the things that, talking about changes, we've got buying behaviour. I would say, from an advertising point of view, on all the platforms, the audiences are diminishing. So up until iOS, the most important factors was your audience. So you could have pretty much any ad, pretty much any copy, as long as you got the audience right, you could get an ad working. The audience has really held the advertiser's hand in making Meta make a business money pretty easily. I mean, I remember when we first started doing this, a lot of the time we were sending traffic. When we were doing that t-shirt stuff, we wasn't doing conversions was like a newish thing. It's like traffic ads. Traffic ads, obviously now we all know my view on that. But so now, if we're talking about audiences diminishing, or even if you put in, like, you've done pitches where you said, to me, can you just grab me some figures for the audiences? And we lost that one pitch because you were like landscapers and I was like 12 million or whatever it was. And
fucking joke, actually, that really annoyed me.
And the thing is now, if the audiences are like that and the interest groups just aren't what they used to be, you have to think of it as it's just someone who's watching the ad. They might not have an interest in your bike or whatever it might be that you're trying to sell. So you have to really think about what you're putting in your copy and your hooks and your headlines. So you need to grab someone within the 2 seconds. Do you know what I mean? It's not even a stop the scroll. It's they need to see that hook and go, yep, that's me, I want it. Immediately. Because if these audiences, we need to prepare for audiences to just think they're not going to be there. In 2 years' time, those audiences might not be there. So then it comes down to amazing copy, amazing creative.
That audience thing annoys me because you just have no idea, do you? Like, it's so annoying. Like that particular pitch, that's a space that we excel in. That sort of going out to builders and that type of market. I just and I totally get the lady's point actually, which is, I don't understand this. I was like, well, if I'm being honest, neither do I, because I know that's not the market because of the data side. I knew exactly how big the marketplace was, which in truth I should have just put that down, but pretty too transparent for our own good. But what and I've had arguments. So you have an eye about it again. What's his audience? You're like, it's 20 million. I'm like, but it's not, Nick, is it? And you're like, here it is. And I totally get it because you're looking at
make a figure up.
What it's showing you, but actually it's like shit, and that's why that's been a big change.
So you essentially have to make a figure up.
If you do that.
No, but if there's 12,000 landscapers, we just have to say there's 12,000 landscapers. Or
it's annoying me like Google, because we were pitching for a client today, and there's a bit of Google in there. We know how many searches there are a month. We know, you've got that analytical.
They don't share that. They'll know it though.
Of course they'll know,
but they're not.
Freaking show it, will they?
No.
Which is annoying.
So yeah, I would say that's the biggest change that I'm finding. Obviously, no, there's obviously massive changes, but the thing that we're focusing on the most, and when I'm teaching people, is they've really got to get their hooks and headlines right. That's really, really important. Otherwise, you're just fading into the background. Or, if you're advertising a perfume and you say, "Hey, do you want to smell nice?" to women between the age of 25 and 60, well, of course they do. They all want to smell nice. So you've got to be more targeted to that. It's like, hey, you got a date on Friday night, make sure you get your fragrance right so you can have him fancy or whatever. You just need to, that's a really bad example. But you need to actually have that person go, oh yeah, that's me. You need to think, when you're writing your copy or your hooks, that person who's been served your ad needs to go, yes, that's me. I'm interested. I'm clicking through.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at, I thought I'd have a quick look at how many episodes you've done. So you've done 103, but it's actually 102. If we look back, are there any episodes that you remember doing?
Every single one.
That's a bollocks, that has.
Every single one of them. Are
there any ones that you've gone, good episode, that? Love that. I was on point that day.
No.
Not one. There was not one where I came off going, no.
No. There's a lot of those. What I was actually looking through the stats the other day at what episodes have got the most views.
Can I guess?
Go on.
I'm going to guess. I reckon the first one got some good traction.
It has, but the know your audience, i.e., what should I talk about? The most listened to ones are anything the headline of the podcast, if it resembles basic Facebook.
Okay.
So, most people, when I go onto these calls with people who've come from the podcast and I say where they're at, they've struggled with something at early stages of Facebook.
That's such a shameless plug there by Nick.
What?
I remember one, and I like this every year. The Black Friday episodes, I like those.
Yeah, we'll be there soon.
Yeah,
We'll be talking about that in about 2 months' time.
Yeah, we will. What a crock of shit Black Friday is, but that's a question for another day.
But sells some products, doesn't it?
It does. It just shifts some stuff. I'm just trying to think. We did an extra cast for a bit, didn't we, as well? We got some guests on.
Yeah.
We've stopped that
Yeah.
for a good reason.
What?
What? We've got another podcast now, haven't we?
Yeah.
This is my shameless plug there. Do you know what it's
You've
called?
still got to release it though, haven't you?
No, but we're getting there, aren't we, Mike?
Yeah. How many episodes are you getting up
Just-
to? You've got a few episodes now, haven't
No, I
you?
got one.
Oh. Is this not the marketing?
Yeah, the fake marketer.
Yeah, the fake marketer, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You only got one episode. I thought you
We
filmed
haven't
a
had a
few more.
chance yet. We've been busy. We are generally, but you know how busy I'm saying.
No.
Shit. Yeah, so we invite guests on there, don't we, to discuss all forms of marketing. The
Yeah.
reason why we did that is because we thought it was going off piste a bit, didn't we? We were trying to always bring it back to Facebook ads, and some of those just didn't. It was quite hard to really sort of bring it back to that, which is why. And actually, when we looked at the stats, I think we looked, and some were good, but actually, in truth, they weren't the best, were they?
Yeah.
You brought when we brought someone on.
Because it's chilled out in this office, isn't it? With a little music, a little bit of reggae music going off in the background.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's chilled.
So that's where we've come from. Where are we going? Where do we see Facebook ads a year from now or in the future?
Well, they can't buy TikTok. So, though I'm sure there's plenty of offers going on the table because the USA can control Facebook, but they can't control TikTok, hence why they've got these problems. So what's the easiest solution? Buy TikTok. Zuckerberg, any chance?
So you think they'll buy them?
No, they won't sell them. It wouldn't happen.
No, not for sure.
They'd want to, but it wouldn't
They're
happen.
not buying. So go on then. Facebook ads, Meta ads.
I don't think it's going anywhere.
No, in a year from now, where would it be? What's going to change? Predictions.
Well, it's going to be a lot more video. Though, but I say this, statics and stuff still sell.
I knew he was going to say that. As he said video, and they went, oh, I could tell he was like, oh,
They do.
static still works.
Do you know what? On
Conversion.
on Airflow, who's one of our big spenders,
Plug.
statics work better.
Do they?
Yeah.
See, I'm not privy to this information anymore, Michael. I'm not.
The statics work better. Jake loves a carousel. Hate them.
Why?
Why do I hate a carousel?
Yeah, why?
I think a carousel is great from a shopping point of view. I think every e-commerce shop should display, and I saw actually a really nice example on Utah Run. Mark, shout out to Mark. Really good example of having a picture then with your catalog underneath it. So you see when you get served your ad, you see your image, pair of trainers, woman on the mountainside going for a run or whatever. But underneath it has the catalog of all those different trainers called an instant experience. That looks really good. Like a carousel, you can bring a dynamic one. It can just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. But from there's a couple of things. Don't like building them, which is a really basic thing. They take a lot of time.
It was nothing to do with that. It was just because we're paying.
No, but statistically, I haven't done this stat, but there was a stat that I sent around a couple of months ago, and carousels work worse than most of the others.
I saw
on
this
average.
stat the other day, which is PDFs on LinkedIn, I know it's off Meta, sorry, but get better traction than carousels.
PDFs.
Like loading a bit, like our data metrics we do.
Yeah.
Better traction than a carousel. Fact.
By scrolling downwards.
No, you just scroll across. Like it's a carousel, but it's just that you just load a PDF in. Couldn't believe it. And I'm not just seeing that. There's actually been a big,
Okay.
put together. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
That'll start for you.
So
So more video. Anything else?
I think there's going to be more video, but I don't think statics are going to go out
Okay.
because I think they just work too well. They work too well. I mean, I get drawn in from a static. Sometimes you don't need the engagement of it. You just want to see what you want to see.
I reckon Nick could do a monologue podcast on just statics. Why I love a static.
The other good thing about static, if you got an offer, that's probably why they work best for Airflow, because it's a great introductory offer,
Plug.
50% off. If you've got a motorbike and your seat cover, if it gets too hot, is
Plug.
straight away you're saying 50% off in a nice way. You can show the product, everything. When you're watching a video, even if it's 13 seconds long, a lot of the time you've got to watch that video. And if it hasn't engaged you, there we go. If it hasn't engaged you within that first second, and you scroll past the video,
I can give a good
the
example.
static has stopped you because you see what it is exactly.
I've bought something from a static, annoyingly. So I got into Huel because their videos, brand awareness, and obviously they've been everywhere when they really flooded the market. I actually went ahead and purchased because of the static.
Ah. There's a lot on TikTok at the moment, their videos.
So annoyingly, you're right.
Statics work.
Anything else going to change?
TikTok wanted to bring static in.
Oh,
Never really happened, but they were looking at
Did you
it.
try it? It was
They
there.
did try it,
It's
yeah.
too shit. I don't know. It's the wrong platform for me. What else is going to change?
Audiences are going to decline.
Yeah. Anything else?
Advertising costs, even though they're always rising.
No, they were
this
down
is-
20% last
Yeah,
year.
this is what I mean. This is a good time
Yeah, okay.
going to get to. It's a good time. If you want to get into advertising, it's a good time to advertise now.
So if you
Platform's going to be empty, but that's only going to happen for a matter of time. So when there's a recession like this, most people are obviously panicking, but give it another year when those people who need those side hustles, and then things calm down and people have gone, okay, I've got less money now, but now I need to build up again. The platform's going to get busier. And then, so this is the time, the next 12 months.
So if you're looking to increase your Facebook ad,
None of these are plugs, by the way.
call Nick.
I'm not doing this pluggy.
Go to www.theadsclinic.com. Book a call him in Nick.
That's a great
Plug.
name.
Okay, so that's your predictions. Shall I give you my predictions now?
Yeah.
We as advertisers are fucked.
What with AI and stuff.
Not so much AI, because AI's been around. It's never going anywhere. That's what an algorithm is, an AI. It's fucking. These people are like, it's new. It's not new. You're just an idiot. I think we'll get to a point. It probably won't be the next 12 months. We will just load in a picture or a product. That's it. That's all we'll do. We won't write the copy. We won't do the imagery. I generally believe
Yeah,
that'll be a part of that funnel.
Well, that's already in Facebook.
But not to that degree.
No, but you can put your image in. You have to start writing some copy. So it goes on
That's what I mean.
basically.
But there'll be a point where you just load your products in and that's it.
Yeah.
I want a cost per acquisition of X. Go and find it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be that. That's my personal opinion.
It could be. Let's hope the advertising platforms are just as complicated as they are now, because it still needs someone to set it up.
Let's hope not. I think that's where we'll be in 12 months. Not 12 months, sorry. We're in the future.
But what will happen is you'll then, as an expert or an agency, will get better at, because it will be like the first thing. It'll be like Christmas came early. Suddenly, oh wow, this is good. Then the platform every platform will still just then get busy again, and other people's creative or whatever that gets dropped in will be better than others, and then you'll just become an expert at the person who makes the AI work better.
It's like
See what I mean?
SEO on ChatGPT. They reckon that actually you'll be able to SEO ChatGPT for your business. So if you put write me the top 5 businesses for fat loss, who's it going to pick? So you see what I mean? So you'd start SEOing. Oh, that's great. That's just busted for program. So I think that's what it'll be.
Yeah.
I think to round this off, we should give some kudos to people we've met during the podcast. Not in terms of the guests, but actually listeners. Because some of these are Ads Clinic clients.
Yeah.
Some of them become actual agency clients.
Yeah.
So the first one we've got to give a massive kudos for
Yeah. Go on then.
is Utah Mark.
Absolute legend. Just been on a call with him and Jess.
Fucking ledge.
Yeah.
So, Mark.
And he does listen to this, so he'll...
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he still listens to it. He can't get enough of me. That's the thing he said to me just then. He said, why are you in the office? He said, you're not in the office, you're in a club. I was like, yeah, it's our office. And I said, oh, James and I went for a podcast. And he said, love those podcasts.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
Just, so I've just had the Verizon PO come through, so I'm really happy.
Brilliant.
Okay, so that's Mark. I want to give a shout out, Nick, to a bit of an OG, Tom. This is where Nick's memory now with names comes in.
Tom. Glasses. Yeah. If he's still listening, I was going to reach out to Tom the other day, actually, and just see how he's getting on.
What was his what was the sunglasses brand?
I know exactly what it is, but now you've asked me, I don't, because I even get served his adverts.
I've still got my Jess buys them because they're cheaper than.
Yeah, they're good glasses.
They're really good. I use them for running. I think they're brilliant.
God. Sorry, man. Sorry, Tom, if you are listening.
Sorry, Tom.
Unplug your products. I've both of us completely forgotten what it's
We
called.
must remember them. We might come back to Tom.
Yeah.
Who else is
Be on my
there?
Instagram, probably.
Who's the brother? Michael.
Yeah, Airflow.
Ledge.
Yeah, absolute legend. I'll shout out to him actually at the moment because he's lives in Israel and they're not going through the best time at the moment. So
Yeah, we'll probably switch off that quite quickly. So yeah, kudos to Michael.
Yeah.
Legend. Utah Mark. Want any running gear when you live in Utah? Hook up Mark. Ledge. I'm trying to think what else is there. Vasectomy guy.
yeah,
Guy
coming
Oz.
on as a client now.
What's his name?
Jeff
Jeff.
is coming over.
Fair play, Jeff. I'm not privy to Jeff. I'm not involved with as much anymore, so I don't really know Jeff. But I definitely know Tom. I definitely know Mark.
No, but I do love the way I say, how's your day going? How many balls you touched today? Which he finds quite funny and he actually comes back and gives me an answer. It's like 16.
It'd be weird if he went
16. 16 sets of balls. and then what's even more fair play to him is I know that costs $800 per ball, each ball he cuts.
Is that how he quotes?
And he's got like 9 clinics. So
You quoted per ball. That'd be that's the ad. That's the ad there.
yeah.
Price per ball. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
The ballpark figure.
It's a ballpark
It's
figure.
a ballpark figure.
Ballpark.
It's not a ballpark figure, it's $800 US.
That's amazing.
That is brilliant.
That's brilliant, Michael. Yeah, good. So I think so that's where we'll be in a year. That's some shout outs. So
We don't just give you a ballpark figure.
that's really good, isn't it?
It's $800.
Yeah.
But not today, because we're giving 25% off if you sign up now. Love
That's
it.
brilliant, isn't it?
Love it. Jeff's like that. Oh, brilliant. I don't need to go over to an agency now. I write that myself.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't listen to it. It's like, actually, you've got some really creative ideas then.
He's too busy to listen to this.
Yeah.
He's got touching
he's
his balls deep.
I knew it. I knew it was coming. Fucking balls deep.
No, but met some great people. Met some great people.
I knew it.
I wish we had him as a mate, like in the pub. He must get caned. As you mate, balls deep.
Bet he buys the pints.
Oh,
Doesn't
love it. I
know
said, you're doing some money with this. He just goes, yeah.
Yeah.
But he has to touch balls all day.
So right, let's round this off then.
Yeah.
100th episode. Bit of a catch up.
Yeah, really good.
So what we're going to plug? So we're going to plug
The ads
if you are,
clinic.
the ads clinic. So if you are running ads, want a bit of help, go to
Theadsclinic.com.
book in a call,
30 minutes
30
with
minute
me.
consultation with Nick, and see if we can help. But generally, if you can't, Nick will say, we I
Yeah,
think,
I don't like hard
no,
work.
there's no,
I get enough of that with the agency.
there's no bullshit there. And also the second podcast,
Yeah.
which is the Fame Marketer,
Yeah,
where we discuss all forms of marketing, really.
yeah.
And we
That's good.
discuss the
Where
fake-
did you get the name The Fake Marketer from?
Oh yeah, sorry, I just had to think about that then. If you go on, you'll see where you'll know about the logo
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you don't,
Depending what you do as a pastime.
depends what you Google. But But you'll know. You'll know.
Yeah.
That's it, Nick.
Your history will know.
That's it.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. And released tomorrow, I think, Michael, if we've recorded tomorrow, released it tomorrow, don't we? Yeah. So this will come straight after another one with the phase 3 of the testing process, where we're going to look at headlines and how we test those, and we're getting nearer to that winning ad formula. But yeah, thanks for listening, everyone, and I'll see you on the next one. Say bye, James.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.